Welcome everybody back. So the Bomb Squad. It's Frosty Fridays. We know what that means. I'm your man. Yo man with the plan, and that is to be Frost. And that is a plan successful in my book. And this is, of course, Frosty's Bar Tales. Alright, so everybody, got a bit of a interesting story for you today. It's a weird one. So this story is called Fancy That. And this story involves moi, it involves Tough Tony, and it involves a really dumb guy. Really dumb guy. Really dumb guy. So, this guy comes in 2 weeks ago. And he arrives in a Bentley. Good for him. Like, whoop-de-doo, dude. Like, oh, okay. And he was wearing skinny jeans. God, I hate skinny jeans, but that's beside the point. I don't like skinny jeans, but what? So, I'm calm. My ear hurts, but I'm calm. So, this guy comes in Bentley. Nice. He leaves his lights on, and we're like, dude, your lights are on. You gotta turn your lights off. And he goes, no, Bentley's lights are supposed to stay on when you go into the club. And he goes inside. It's like, okay, whatever. Oh, man. So, whatever. So, apparently he was dancing like a complete idiot inside. I didn't see this, so it was just brought to my attention that he was dancing very oddly. And when I say oddly, I mean like, it was like, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see it. This is just brought to my attention. So, why is the story called Fancy That? Well, because Tough Tony and I are outside talking, as we do, and we're just bullshitting about nothing, right? That's what we do. We bullshit. So, and this guy comes out and he goes, "How's it going, everyone?" No one acknowledges him because he's weird. So he goes, "Okay, well, I'm just going to stand here and wither like a flower." So he starts, I'm not standing up, so he's like doing this while he's standing up. And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I don't know. So, we're like, whatever. So, we're still talking, and he interrupts our conversation, right? Because he's rude like that, because one thing you can do to piss me off, besides wearing skinny jeans, is really interrupt somebody's conversation. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. It drives me mad. So, this guy interrupts our conversation, and he lets us know that he is a traveling writer. Like, so what? Like, who gives a shit? And he's like, "Oh, well, I write about stories. You know, I go to, you know, different Walmarts, and, you know, I compare sales taxes, and I write stories about that because, well, it's really important stuff." It's like, okay, first off, who loves reading so much that they're intrigued by sales tax difference? There might be people out there that's totally fine. But this is fucking weird. So this guy is just screaming sex offender. Not that I'm not labeling. I'm not, because labeling is wrong. But this guy reeked of it. Like, this guy reeked of, I'm not trusting you around my kids. Get away, you freak. So, while we're talking, while Tough Tony and I are talking, because we do that, and this guy rudely interrupts us with this conversation and such. So as he's telling us, like, he goes, you guys don't have anything to say about that? Tough Tony just looks at him and goes, fancy that. Like, what? Like, fancy that, for those that don't know, fancy that is just like a well, a fancy way of saying, like, wow, that's cool. Or, woo, whoop-de-doo, or something like that. So, he's like, well, fancy that. And then walks towards me to start having a conversation with me again. So, all of a sudden, this guy, who is a traveling writer, mind you. So, he's a writer. So, he has to have a good vocabulary. A specific vernacular, right? It has to be adequate. It has to be spendtabulous. So, he says something to Tough Tony, and I could not help but laugh. I had to. I had to laugh, because he goes, you need to work on your loneliness. Tough Tony goes, my what? He goes, you need to work on your loneliness. It's very transparent. I can see that. So, why did Frosty just hit his head on his beautiful Simpsons puzzle? So, why did he? Because, well, let's examine this. Because, obviously, Professor Dipshit isn't as good with words as he lay claim to be. Why do I say that? Because if he's trying to say that Tough Tony's loneliness is noticeable and he needs to work on it, transparent is not the word to use. Transparent, by definition, means, well, I'm guessing here because I didn't look it up prior. Transparent means you can't see it. It's not noticeable. So, like, if he notices his loneliness and it's very transparent, he's not noticing shit. The word he probably meant to use, the traveling writer, mind you, is your loneliness is very apparent, because apparent means you can see it. See what I did there? Transparent, can't see it. Apparent, very noticeable. See, that's a symbol for me wanting to backhand the traveling writer because he's an idiot. So, if that wasn't enough, all of a sudden, he just, well, then he gets butthurt with Tough Tony because shut up, Hurt, because I guess fancy that was like a sarcastic thing that Tough Tony said. It kind of was. So he's very smart on that, but whoops. He was just like, well, like, let's throw down like me and you. Let's squash this. Like, let's bury the bone here. Let's bury the bone here. So, another thing this guy said wrong. Bury the bone means he'll come back for it later. If you want to squash something, you bury the hatchet. See how this works? You bury the hatchet, it doesn't come back, you leave it alone. You bury the bone, you come back for it later, and you start chewing all over it. So now he wants to bury the bone with an olive branch. Where are you supposed to get an olive branch? to which you can bury the bone with Tough Tony, because Tough Tony said, fancy that, when you rudely interrupted our conversation, which was, well, I don't remember what, but it was super important. It really was. It was like earth-shattering importance. And this guy just, oh, well, I'm a traveling writer. I write about sales taxes at Walmarts and other things like that that people just don't really give a shit about. So it was like, you fucking nut. So all of a sudden, it was just, he gets in Tough Tony's face, right? So he goes, well, oh, I'm going to go inside really quick. So he goes inside. Whatever. So instead of taking, we have manager cards, authority figure cards, by the front door. So if you want to get in touch with an authority figure, you can see their cards right there. And bam! So this guy wants to get in touch with Tough Tony's boss. So instead of taking a business card, this dipshit decides that he's going to take his phone. Ooh, I actually have something like this. See, this is my old phone. I lost it in the glove compartment of my roommate's truck. Then I went and got another one, in which I'm recording with right now. So he takes his phone, takes a picture, click, and it doesn't work anymore, so it's fine. He takes a picture of the cards, and he just goes, well, what's your name? He goes, it's beep. Not gonna say it. He actually said it. He goes, well, beep what? He goes, well, let's just say that Tough Tony said his name was Luann. It's not Luann. But he goes, it's Luann. He goes, well, Luann what? He goes, it's just Luann. He goes, okay, well, what's your boss's name? Well, the other authority figure. So the other authority figure's name is, but his name for this is going to be Light Bulb. So, what's your other boss's name? He goes, it's Light Bulb. He goes, alright, well, I'm going to call Light Bulb tomorrow, and I'm going to let him know just how you're being, because you're being offensive. I don't feel comfortable here. I was having a Long Island, but I didn't finish it, because you made me feel unwelcome with your presence, and with you being all fancy that. I don't feel welcome here anymore. I don't feel comfortable. You're very upfront. You're very sarcastic. And I just, no, I don't feel safe here anymore. So it was like, then go home. Then leave! Like, what are you... So he left. But, just so you guys know, dipshit did not call Lightbulb and talk to Lightbulb about Luann and his horrible, horrible authority figuring that he does. So, that is that. It's wow, some of the people we have to deal with, I swear to Lord. So, everybody, that's going to be that. It's going to be a bit of a shorter episode this week because, well, I got shit I got to go do. So, that is that, everybody. Fancy that. So, if you meet the traveling writer, tell him there's a difference between transparent and apparent, because obviously he doesn't know that. And whatever you do, for God's sakes, whatever you do, everybody, I try to end episodes with like a knowledgeable note. Please, for the love of God, everybody, do not say fancy that, because apparently it's very offensive. How? I don't know, but it apparently is. Whatever. So, that is that, everybody. That is that. Fancy that. So, everybody, that is that. So, alright, that's it for this week's episode. I will see you guys again on Wednesday. Don't forget to join the Bomb Squad. All you gotta do is like, share, and subscribe, because you don't want to miss out on all the gaming shite that we do on the other side that Crazy Juan does. Not this guy. not Crazy Juan. But you also don't want to miss out on Wasted Wednesdays with Frosty and future Frosty's Bar Tales on Frosty Fridays, which is today. So, everybody, that's it. You all be safe out there. See you out in the club life if you go. And most importantly, everybody, stay safe, stay smart, don't say fancy that. Be aware of traveling writers because, well, they write with crayons because they're dumb. And most importantly, take care now. Bye-bye then. And stay classy.